What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Juice, man.
With some enthusiasm.
We're back. We still haven't released a freaking 39-pound video.
This is like a month later.
Guys, we've been going through the ringer on
Yeah.
this 39-pound video. But we've got it pretty much done, right?
Yeah, so I was watching it with Barrett. Barrett's helping us with it.
Yeah, Barrett.
He's doing a good job. And, I mean, to be fair, we keep making last-minute little changes, little tweaks.
Yeah, we want it to be right.
It's really not going to be that good of a video, honestly.
It's going to be all right.
It's just cool. We enjoyed it.
It was a heck of it. We act like, I'm sure you'll see in the footage we act.
Yeah. Well, he was showing me some stuff. He's like, what about this little audio bit? And I was like, no, we need to cut that out.
Yeah, no, there's, I mean, I lose my mind a few times, and I really don't care.
It's exciting. That's all we're trying to do is share the excitement with you.
Yeah. When I went back and watched some of the footage, I'm like, man, kind of like act like you've been there before. But I haven't. I've never been there.
I've
never weighed in.
Yeah. Can we put on the title largest bag ever caught with a spinning rod?
No.
You don't think?
We don't know that that's true. We can't be.
But that's what YouTube's all about.
Can't be doing that, man.
We got to have clickbait. I want some ideas for titles.
I would just say, I mean, you don't think a good title's 39,
Nope.
50?
Nope. It's got to have like some sort of adjective like the biggest or
well, I
rarest.
asked Champs if that was the biggest bag they've ever had weighed in, and they didn't know.
I don't know. Champ's been around
on Rayburn,
and they used to go to like you said, Choke and Amson.
But on Rayburn, he said he didn't know. He said probably. So
it don't matter. But we're working on that. We're working on classic footage. That we're trying to be better.
Yeah, the classic footage will surface probably
next year.
Yeah.
Next class.
And there's actually some really cool stuff in there. So we're gonna have some shorts.
No. Barrett's working on that. He's helping us with that
too.
But we got this part down where we like just come in here, hit record. This one's easy.
Yeah.
Last episode, Adam Rasmussen.
Yeah, it's doing good, man.
Yeah, good. He was cool guy to talk to. For those that don't know, he got second in the Bassmaster Classic.
Yeah, he's a hammer, and it was a really good episode. Raz, really
that's where
really good dude, and glad to see him doing well. And yeah, in other news, we've got a derby coming up on one of the most famed fisheries, one of the places that I'm so excited to put my boat in. One of the best Texas fisheries that exist, Cedar Creek Reservoir, ladies and gentlemen.
Bulkheads, docks.
It's not good. They do catch them pretty big out there, though.
Yeah, they catch some weight. It's going to take some weight.
That's why it's even scarier. Actually.
So, yep, Brandon Belt, stop number 3.
Stop number 3. We are in 3rd place as of right now for a
bass cat.
So it's time to catch them. We have not done what we needed to do in the first 2. I don't know how we're still in this position. We have got to step it up right here, right now. So,
yeah, this is going to be a tough one to change the momentum on.
This is one of those lakes, like, it's not the easiest thing in the world to catch, like, even a limit.
It just doesn't fit our style. It doesn't fit our style.
Well, we're going to have to make it. Something's.
Yep. Yep. We'll see. It's dirt. I got to get in derby mode, man. I've been, like, so out of derby mode. It's not even funny, like, because we went classic. And
you will as soon as you, Thursday morning.
Practice. We get 2 days of practice, 2-day tournament. So we're headed there early Thursday morning. But yeah, we've been working on. I've been doing a lot of little business. You know.
Yeah, the juice is. We've been working on it pretty decently hard, and it's growing. And with that,
it's been pretty cool. Talked to some sponsors that are interested in participating, and we got one locked. I better mute that. That's gonna go off like nuts. That's a great
yeah. Which y'all probably saw
I got
Weaver Brothers sponsored the
classic.
Classic.
I got us a new desk ornament.
The Power Wagon.
Grab that on-air thing off of there.
Just set it up there, right there.
Let's just get this.
Oh, golly.
Well, I mean,
tailgate. Just
look, dude. Look, check this out. It's actually got suspension on it. Isn't that nuts?
Oh, and
Power
the
Wagon.
Drops.
The Ram Power Wagon. The Weaver Ram Power Wagon.
Yeah, I was gonna mount it up on the live, like, you know.
Will it work?
I don't know. Let's check it out. That looks stupid.
No, put it in the bed. Lower the bed.
Lower it.
There you go.
There it is, guys.
Beep.
The Power Wagon.
The Weaver Brothers Power Wagon. No, they've reached out and wanted to step up in a big way, and I guess this is our first real sponsor.
Yep, and we had a meeting today.
Yep,
with another sponsor,
AFCO.
AFCO, been a long-time supporter of mine, and they're freaking awesome people, and we got to sit down with Matt over there and talk some business, and everything sounds good. So
yeah, looks like we'll be working with them a little bit in the future. And
yep.
I mean, the main thing I want to get across to everybody is, we don't want to cram sponsors down your throat. Everybody,
Nope.
I mean, that's kind of been the thing out here is in the industry, little old school sales tactics. We're not going to do that.
Yeah, no, we're not.
I don't think it works. Doesn't suit our style.
No, yeah, we're going to try to stray away from that. So.
But the message I want to get across is support those that support the sport we love.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, AFCO's obviously a brand in the sport, but, Weavers is, non-endemic. They're a local dealership here in Jasper, and, they don't have to get involved in bass fishing, but they like what we're doing, and they want to support it. So I encourage anybody that, support those that support your sport. So, and AFCO's an exciting one, too, because
yeah, they do a ton for the sport in general.
They make cool stuff.
They do a ton for the sport.
Yep.
I knew that door open.
They all do turn the steering wheel.
No
turn
way.
the steering wheel. Yep.
I don't feel like messing with this thing right now.
Telling you. It turns.
Oh, let's have it flexing then. How about that, guys?
How
about that?
We got her turned.
Well, we got a guest today while we're sitting here playing with toys. Mr. Logan Parks.
Logan Parks.
He's an Elite Series rookie. He is a part of the Fast and Furious Wrecking Ball Rookie Elite Series class. Would you agree?
Oh, I mean, I'm about to pull up AOI points right now.
They the 9 guys that made the Elite Series this year, the rookie class they're just phenomenal. And that they were the first group of guys to come out of the newest format of the Bassmaster EQs. So they had to fish all 9, and these are the guys. This is the kind of the quality that comes out of the Opens when you have a format like that. And all these guys are for real. I believe most of them are in your top 20 in AOI right now after the first few.
Yeah, Logan is in 14th.
Yep.
And he is number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of the 9.
In the top
15.
Yeah. So there you go. And I think Milliken.
And actually, JT Thompson's in 15th, so 7 of the 9.
Or is Milliken and Trey tied?
Yeah, Milliken and Trey are tied.
So the 2 rookies are tied for the lead in AOI. So.
Crazy.
So he's part of that class. Dude's won a freaking $1 million in a bass fishing tournament before. That's pretty much nobody's done that except for the $1 Million Classic or the $1 Million Cup. Scott Suggs, I believe, won.
Yeah.
Him and his partner Tucker Smith won that event. So we're gonna talk to him about a $1 million tournament that they won. We're gonna talk to him about the
Opens.
Bassmaster EQ series and how freaking wild that is. And we'll talk to him about the Elite to see how he's enjoying it so far.
What's up?
What is up, man? Appreciate you coming on.
We were just hyping you up before you got on here.
Yeah.
We said there's no way you'd qualify with that live scope.
Oh, no, you did not.
I'm just messing with you, man. We talked before the show. We were going to avoid every live scope conversation.
Yeah, we've been, why and I've been saying that.
Oh, man. I knew I was going to catch you and Shane off guard with that comment, though.
Literally said that's the only thing we're not talking about.
Oh, man. Now we're just hyping you up, man. And we talked about you and, the rest of your rookie class and what y'all had to go through and what y'all are doing now. And we're just seeing this whole new wave of the sport. But before we get into all that, I typically like to let guys that have never been on the show before just give us a little bit of background, how they got into everything, and just a quick summary, and then we'll get into all that other stuff.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on. I feel like I'm kind of different from a lot of these guys that maybe they've tournament fished or, fished with their dad on the lake since the day they were born, just about. I actually didn't get my feet wet with tournament fishing until I was in 8th grade in high school. So this was probably 12, 13 years ago. It's really crazy. It seems just like it was yesterday, but I always fished. Don't get me wrong. I fished a lot growing up, but it was like pond fishing with my granddad. I was so excited to go down to the farm, where my granddad, my grandma lived, South Alabama. And, we'd always get to fish down there, and they had a really good pond that we caught, a lot of 3-4 pound largemouth bass out of. And so I got used to doing that, just throwing a Texas rig lizard out there for those things. And, when I was at home, I actually grew up in Auburn, Alabama. That's where I live today still. But we would go fish the golf course behind our house. They had a little pond in the neighborhood that we'd go fish. I mean, we fished everywhere we could and fished for anything that bit. It wasn't just like only bass. I mean, the biggest fish we could catch, that's what we wanted to catch. And I also played baseball, and I played a lot of baseball, but I tried out for the team, I guess the varsity travel team at Auburn High School in 8th grade that fall, and I got cut, and I didn't make the team. And I'm like, dang, what do I do now? And, I was pretty upset about it at the time, but it turned out to be probably the best thing that could have ever happened to me.
Yeah.
Because I spent a lot more time fishing. And I got together with a couple of my buddies that, they didn't play sports, that we always just fished together. And we actually got the Auburn High School fishing team started, met with the principal, and she was pretty awesome about, starting a team. And we found a teacher that was willing to coach us or, just be our teacher sponsor of the team. And we got the team going and actually fished our first tournament that spring, which would have been 2012, I think, 2013, around that time frame. I fished, I think, my first 10 tournaments. I think I zeroed all 10 of them.
Oh, God, come on.
It was a tough start for sure, because, we went from pond fishing and creek fishing to, like, fishing out of this fishing ski, man. We had this, my buddy's dad had a fishing ski, and it had the whole, like, the windshield that folded over in the middle. And
nice.
we had these rod, like PVC tubes mounted, that our rod stuck straight up in the air. So when we'd cast on our back of our cast, we'd hit the rods and break them and stuff. And we had a huge learning curve, man, to go from fishing ponds and creeks to fishing lakes. And, that's just part of it. But luckily we our parents knew people like, my dad and my buddy's dad. They didn't fish, on the lakes, but they had coworkers and guys that they were friends with that did, and they were willing to take us fishing and teach us. And that's kind of how we learned growing up through high school fishing.
Gotcha. What year did you graduate high school, Logan?
I graduated in 2017.
Okay. Gotcha. Good deal. So you went from the high school fishing scene. Did you go into college with the intent to fish?
Yeah, I always wanted to fish in college, especially when we got that fishing team started in 2012 or 13. I think Jordan Lee was at Auburn, and he actually came and spoke to us at one of our meetings, and we ended up going pond fishing with him. And, like, we railed him. It was sick.
I think I heard you tell this story before. Is that where you learned how to throw a drop shot? Or you taught him how to throw a drop shot?
Yeah. He was like, guys, I've got this new technique. I'm like, y'all need to try this out. And, like, we were throwing it on our bait casters because we didn't even have spinning rods. We were like, oh, spinning rods, that's no fun. I don't want to throw a fairy wand. And he's, like, throwing this drop shot in the middle of the pond, catching, like, sevens. I'm like, all right, let me see one of them things.
That's sick.
Yeah, it was awesome. And, to see him, in the orange and blue and the Auburn jersey. And then I think that next year he qualified for the Classic through college.
Yeah.
And we went to the Classic. That was the one that Randy Howell won. Yeah. And that was the first Classic I went to. So it kind of just had like a imprint on my brain of like, man, this is badass. Like I want to fish for Auburn and, do that. And so when I graduated, that's what I went straight into was fishing college, and I fished there for 5 years. So had a really good run at it. It was a lot of fun, and I kind of really, grew outside of fishing with a boat captain or our dads, and like kind of like was able to go out and trial and error, kind of learn things on our own,
Sure.
get ready to kind of take it to the next level.
Yeah.
So when did you start realizing or thinking, I want to do this professionally? I want to pursue a professional career in this.
I definitely had always, dreamed of it. Even back in the pond fishing days, we'd see, Bassmaster when it would come on TV, and, knew about Bill Dance. And back then, like, it was like Skeet Reese was all the hype. I remember it was like all Skeet Reese and KVD, this and that. And we always wanted to be those guys, but it was like, it was kind of unattainable at that time. And then as we started to get, a little bit better in high school, like, we'll try and, go fish in college. And then kind of the same thing happened the first year in college, where we just like the same as the first year in high school, just kind of got our brains beat in by these guys because they were so good and we didn't know really what to do. But we kind of figured it out at the end of that year and then built on it. And then my senior year, I fished with Tucker Smith, and we actually won Angler of the Year that year, and we won one of the tournaments, and just really got on a good flow and good momentum. And that was kind of the year that I was preparing to do it anyways, try and fish the opens and try and qualify, and I was getting ready to do that, make that jump. I made up my mind, this is what I'm going to do. Because to backtrack a little bit, in college, man, I changed my major like 7 times. I'm like, I want to be a dentist, and that way I won't have to work like Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and I can fish more. And then I took chemistry, and I'm like, I don't want to do this anymore. Then I was like, I want to be a construction guy. So I changed my major to building science because that's what my cousin did. And I'm like, nah, this ain't for me. And so I eventually just settled on marketing, and like it really was the easiest major for fishing. Those classes weren't super difficult for me to do and miss a lot of class.
Yeah.
So that's and it worked out good because I learned a lot, to be able to market to sponsors, and also being on the Auburn Bass team and not being, coached per se, like being able to actually run the team. I think that really, really helped me a lot, because I actually went to the Classic and I went to ICAST and worked sponsors' booths and negotiated deals with sponsors for the Auburn Bass team before I had to do it for Logan Parks Fishing LLC, so I kind of got that experience before I even had to really do that for real. So I would say when I was the president of the fishing team that senior year, and when we won Angler of the Year, that was kind of when I'm like, I think I can pursue this, and I'm going to go all in on it.
Got you. Yeah, it's kind of a, talking so far, it sounds like me and you are really similar. Like I did the same exact thing, changed my major a million times, ended up sitting in marketing. I fished at SFA, that's why I went there, and as well to stay close to Sam Rayburn, because the tournaments we have out here and the money to be won is amazing. But there's like a point of like realization when you're growing up,
Right.
Like, that high school, and I'm sure a lot of guys out there feel this if you fish in high school and college and stuff. Like, you always, like you refer back to watching Skeet Reese and KVD, like, yeah, you always looked at those guys and looked up to them. But you always kind of thought in the back of your head, like, man, that'd be really cool to do, but I don't know how it's going to be possible, And then as you start growing up, you, like you say, you started getting into the college fishing and become president, and now you're starting to realize, like, hey, there is a path. It's not going to be easy. But you knew the reality at that point, because it's not just all about fishing. And I think that a lot of guys in that age group that, you're kind of, exactly where you were at that age and at that time. I think a lot of guys go through that now, where it's like a reality stage. Like, hey, it's not just about fishing. Like, I got to know how to talk. I got to know how to negotiate deals. Like, unless you just come from a buttload of money or something, like you have to, you got to be able to do all that. And I think that's kind of important to touch on, because it's like, I think a lot of guys go through that reality stage. That's where a lot of guys peel off. You see a lot of guys fish in high school and then college, they'll never fish again. Like, because that's the reality stage. Like, if you go that route, I guess is what I'm saying, like the college high school or the high school college route, which a lot of people do now. So, I think there's like that line is when you realize, I can relate to that, because it's like you realize, this isn't easy, but it's possible.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, there's a path.
So that's really cool.
So you jumped in the Opens during, like, right after your senior year?
Yeah, so I kind of did the whole loophole college deal where if you graduate in December, you can still fish the spring semester.
I got you.
So because the way it works, I guess, college, it kind of, I mean, you know this too, but the season starts, I guess, in like the fall and runs all the way through August. Mm-hmm. So I graduated in 4.5 years. I graduated in December of 2021, and then I was able to fish that spring season again, fished the second season with Tucker, and I fished all the Opens, and that was insane. I think I fished like 37 tournaments that year, something like that. It was like every weekend I was driving from Arkansas to Louisiana to South Carolina, then back to Texas, and all over the place. And I mean, honestly, like, I felt like that was really when it kind of hit me. It was like, I fished my first couple Opens, and I didn't get paid, but like I didn't finish last. I came in like 70th and then 56th or something like that. Like I didn't just get my teeth kicked in. I'm like, I think I can. I really feel good about this. I feel like I can do this. And as the season went on, I became better and as an angler, and I got better with my decision making, and started to make some paychecks, and then almost qualified that year. I actually finished in 7th in the points, and then
in the overall or in the division?
In the overalls.
Okay.
And because of the divisions, the way it worked, they like worked down the overalls, and so they worked all the way down to 6th place that year, and I finished in 7th.
Wow.
And just didn't really go my way. David Gaston was actually leading the central points, so it was looking like as long as he caught him okay at Sam Rayburn at the last tournament,
he would double.
They
qualify.
would end up taking 7th anyways. And like there was 2 of us, me and John Sukup, that were like neck and neck, and then I felt like I had a decent enough lead over the person behind that as long as I did okay and David did okay, that we'd all qualify, and it just didn't end up working out that well for me, unfortunately.
That was on Rayburn. What year was that one on? 21?
That was 2022 in like October, I think.
Yeah. That's the one. Shoot.
No, that's one Combs
Keith
won.
Combs won.
That's one Combs won.
Oh, that grinder?
Yeah.
He won it with like.
Yeah, it was brutal.
Yeah. I couldn't remember. I didn't know if you were talking about the one that was in 2020, because there was one in 2020 in October.
That's when.
Or September, actually, when that one was.
Okay. I thought that's when Combs won.
No, Combs won. They came back a year
in October.
Masa won the other one, right?
Yeah.
Matsushita.
Combs won the one in October. You were in October, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we were in October.
Because he won that event with like 45 pounds.
Well, wait, and then didn't why am I drawing a blank on his name? He was
freaking Logan.
Logan Latuso came out of nowhere with a 30 bag.
He waited like one bass day one or something like that, and then waited like 30 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because we did all the math on the thing, the second day after the weigh-in, and like I thought I got screwed out of it, and then we started doing the math, and we're like, well, actually, I think David Gaston still ended up in like 3rd somehow, and you double qualified, and like we had not accounted for Logan because he was in like 170th or something after day 1. So like just totally didn't even think about that. And then Hank came out with the thing, and he's like, yeah, didn't make it. I'm like, well, dang. And then they came out with the rule change, like we're taking the top 9. I'm like, well, why couldn't y'all have done that a little sooner?
Yeah. That's nuts. That's a nutty way to qualify for Logan. That's crazy. But that event was so tough, and Logan caught a big enough bag that you could make a jump like that because the weights were so bad. So.
Yeah, he caught like 2 9-pounders.
Yep, he did.
That was sick. But, I mean, I think it was good for me to have another year because I don't know if, I would have done well or not. It
sure.
definitely didn't hurt to have another year to learn.
Yeah.
So you've only fished 2 years in the Opens. 2 full years.
Yeah, I fished 2 years.
Okay.
But last year was the first year of the EQs.
Of the all 9, yeah.
Yeah, so they switched up from the divisional qualifications to just 9 from the all 9 tournaments, and I finished 8th place in that. And it's crazy because I had like a significant amount more of points than the year before that I finished 7th.
Yeah, these boys.
No, so I barely made it.
We kind of spoke on that before the show. Like, that was crazy, you know? Like, the rookie class that came out of the EQs, like, that points total, you know, it'll be tough to duplicate that.
I don't know if you'll ever see that again. I mean, you could, but it was like a...
Yeah. It was pretty nuts. And I think it shows... I think it shows as, you know, we also talked about before you came on I know it's only been a few events, but on the elites right now, like you look at how y'all are doing, the rookie class, and y'all are literally tied for the lead and in the top 15, like 7 of y'all. So
it's insane. I think I'm like 7th or 8th in the rookie of the year. I haven't really looked at it, but I'm pretty sure I'm like 8th. or 7th in Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
And I know for a fact I'm 14th in the point.
Yeah, we were just looking at that. I think you're number 7 in the rookies and you're 14th down.
Overall.
Yeah. So in the top 15, there's 8 of 9 or something in there.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
So of course, that's the year I fished all 9 opens against these guys.
Yeah, and Shane did well, too. Shane did very well, too.
Yeah,
yeah, you caught him at my backyard really well.
Yeah, he almost won that one.
Tried to.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Don't remind me.
So, talk about the opens, man. There's a lot of guys. So, you know, the EQs are new. You got to fish all 9 to make it. You know, that was the first year of the new format. And so talk about that, man. You're a guy that qualified. So you know how difficult it was. And just talk about that experience and how different that is for all those wondering. Just how crazy is the opens.
Dude, they're a freaking gauntlet. I hope I never have to go back and fish them again.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way to put it.
I mean, there's a reason why all these, I mean, I'll say this, there's a lot of guys that seem to be fairly unhappy on the other side, but they don't leave. And there's a reason why, because it's freaking tough, dude. I mean, it's insane. Like, literally would catch enough that I felt like I would be, you know, in a decent shape. And then I'd come in and check Bass Track and know instantly I'm not even probably close to getting paid. And, like, we would talk about the night before of, like, what we thought that, you know, the cut line would be. And then it would be, like, 2 pounds heavier than we thought. Jesus. And, like, everyone caught them way better than we thought. And then it would be also the talk of, like, well, so-and-so, there's no way he catches them again. Like, all these guys ahead of me all season, like, I'm just trying to gain points on to stay inside the top 9. And I'd finally have a good tournament, be, like, 35th or 33rd, and they'd be, like, 25th every time. Like, I couldn't even get a few points on people, it felt like. I mean, it was amazing how consistent everyone was last year. Looks like it's already taken less this year, so I was curious to see about that, if it was just like a insane year, you know, like a outlier in the average of what it's going to take. But I mean, it was frustrating at times for sure.
Yeah, that's so, you know, you talk about that average, it's so new. That will be interesting to look up in 5 years, depending on if all the format stays the same. I'm not sure what exactly is going to end up happening with everything, but if that does stay the same, and you know, you just have your EQs, what that average will be, because it was pretty unreal year one. But,
yeah, they're definitely
those guys were really good.
Yeah, they're at a slower pace this year. There's what, they got 6 left.
But
so there's still a lot of fishing to go, but definitely not.
So compare it to the elites for us, and I'm going to ask: is fishing the elites easier?
Wow.
Than fishing the opens? And I know you're probably going to say, well, it's different, but we want to know how.
Definitely different. I'm not going to say it's easier because, I mean, you guys can look at the leaderboard. It's one of the only tournament trails in the world that the weights go up every day.
Mm-hmm,
You know, it's usually like with the Opens, at least you have a bad day one and a better day two, you would jump a lot of places.
Yeah,
Right.
very true.
And then if you had a decent, you know, day one and like a slightly not as good day two, you wouldn't hardly fall.
Yeah.
But in the elites, it's like if you stumble a little bit, you're freaking going down on day two. It's like everyone just adjusts. They're so good at adjusting, and
Right.
they go back out there, and the cut weight goes up like a pound or two. Instead of it taking like, you know, say that they had 16 pounds on day one, you know, you'd think in the Opens, well, 32 pounds to track two, probably be around 30 pounds to make the top 40 or whatever to get paid. And then in the Elite Series, it's like, instead of doubling it, you got to add 2 or 3 pounds to that.
Yeah.
So I'll say that they catch them way better than, you know, there's a lot more guys at the top end, you know, that catch them really, really good. But I think it does help only having 100 boats out there. I think that might be part of the reason why those weights go up more.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot more stuff open to fish.
Right.
So like in the Opens with the 225 boat field or 250, whatever it was, like I'd be scanning the most off the wall stuff, just trying to find something that I could, you know, maybe catch one fish off of that no one else would find. And now in the Elite Series, I mean, everyone's really good and everyone finds everything, but at the same time, like you just have more room to work, you know, in the I feel like out there on the lake, there's a lot more stuff that's open to fish.
Got you.
So I think that may be why the weights are better too. But obviously, you know, these are like the highest level of the sport guys. So
Right.
I'm definitely not going to say that it's easier than the Opens. It's definitely
Yeah.
No,
not.
easier is probably the wrong word, but I had to
No, I don't
ask.
think you meant it like that, as in, you know, lower caliber of competition
No.
by any means.
No.
But the format itself, and then I think the fact of less practice. I mean, you know how it was in the Opens. 5 days of practice, those guys beat everything up. And
Right.
It's a
I'd
whole
hate to
new
see
lake.
what it. I'd hate to see what it would look like if you gave all of these guys 5 days of practice. Like, to be honest.
Yeah, I think with the elites, the talent down the board, obviously, like from top to bottom,
really good.
I mean, and the Opens aren't that way.
Just the format,
you know?
though, is different. How have you been received by the veterans, the existing elites?
Not well. I will say that. Not well.
No kidding.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I don't know what I was expecting, you know. I obviously I was expecting something different than what it's kind of been like.
Yeah.
But, you know, the whole, like, I don't even want to say the forbidden word.
Yeah.
The whole call.
No, we know what you're
You
talking
talking
about.
No,
FBD or FFS?
I'm talking about not fishing boat docks. I'm talking about forward facing sonar.
I got you.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just all that chatter, dude, it's been like, it's been kind of frustrating, you know. And obviously, you know, I don't expect to just show up and be like buddies with these guys.
Sure.
They could be a little bit nicer.
Man, that's crazy. I figured, you know, like at least to your face, they'd be nice. I mean, I'm just being honest. Like maybe talk crap behind your back, but at least to your face. I mean, because we asked Milligan and he said they were cool with him, at least to his face.
Yeah, I mean,
that's exactly what he said. He's like, well, to my face.
I'm not saying that they're not cool, because like a lot of them have been really cool.
Yeah,
but
sure.
like I think maybe a loud few have kind of like gotten the attention from, you know, like it kind of
Yeah.
now we're like, well, dang, maybe they're all like that, you know. But I think it may be only just a few that are like maybe more obnoxious and loud that are really kind of, you know, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that. Like as a perception from somebody outside looking in as a fan, you can tell that there's a little bit of tension there, and it's, you know, it's not a personal thing. It's not a Logan Park thing. It's a new school versus old school kind of. There's just some tension in the sport right now, and honestly, it's getting a little old.
Do you
in
think
my opinion.
do you think if y'all all were to go to one lunchroom and sit down and eat lunch, that the rookies would have to sit at one table? Do you think y'all could eat lunch
it's
together?
not that bad. It's not that bad. I think though that it's obvious that we have to show up and earn our stripes.
Yeah.
And it's not just like, I mean, we're obviously not just going to be like respected by these guys, which I don't really expect to be. But like I was saying, it just seems it's just weird, with all the talk online and everything, changing in the sport. It's like just a little different, than I had expected. But, at the end of the day, like, I'm just here to catch fish and do what I can do with the tools that I'm given. And I'm going to do that until the rules change or whatever happens. So, like it or not.
I guess at the end of the day, like, y'all ain't on a team. So, y'all are competitors at the end of the day.
As far as I'm concerned, you've earned your spot. So,
I think they all have.
You went through the craziest year ever in the history of Opens.
Yeah, I think they all have earned. That.
No, everybody has. Everybody that's there has earned the right to be there and so.
I would just say, like, at the end of the day, they're not, like, they are competitors, but you could be, but you can be cool.
Even without the whole forbidden FFS, there would still probably be a little bit of like, like, I don't know if hazing's the right word, but a little like, I'm going to try to intimidate the rookies.
Yeah.
I mean, Hackney was
and I think that's the case too. Because like I've talked to a few guys, and they're kind of like, "Well, that was the same way when I was here, and it wasn't like a big thing then."
Yeah.
So I think it's just kind of like amplified it a little bit more, maybe than normal. But I'm sure that it's just like part of it,
Just
got to earn your stripes and earn your respect from your elders.
That's awesome, man.
Man, I want to circle back. I mean, we covered the bass thing real good. I want to circle back to $1 million payday. I want to know what that feels like. Talk about that tournament.
Dude, that was pretty wild for sure. Especially just an insane year, man. I mean, like going back to, that was my senior year of college. I was about to graduate. I had, a really good college season. We won Angler of the Year and won the final tournament to seal the deal. So it was like, how could this possibly get any better? And then, to go on and win the Bass Pro US Open was, truly just a blessing from God, man. Because, at the end of the day, like I had, enough contacts within the industry, and I had, done, decently well for myself as far as I felt like getting sponsors for an Opens guy. Like I had my season set up for, one season of the Opens. Like I'm like, I can afford next year to do nothing but fish these 9 Opens and like not have to get a job.
Yeah.
And like, I'll be comfortable with that. But it was like, well, if I don't qualify next year and those guys don't, want to get behind me again, what am I going to do? And then to go out to a lake we'd never been, Table Rock, and win this huge payout tournament, it really set us up financially for, a few years of it, and to have a truck and a boat, too, on top of it, it was like, I mean, it's hard to believe.
It really is, dude. So y'all both won, you split the $1 million, and then you both got a truck and a boat?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Did you sell them?
Yeah.
Did you sell your truck and boat?
I still have the Tundra. I'm driving it right now.
Nice.
And then I used the Nitro for a season, and then I sold it, and we ended up, obviously we were able to make a pretty good relationship with Bass Pro Shops out of that whole thing.
Yeah.
Met Johnny, and he's awesome. He was so fired up for us.
Oh, you know it.
So we ended up working together with Bass Pro to get a sponsorship agreement. So now I'm just in a new Nitro, but it's still like the same Z21 XL that we won, same model.
Jesus, so they gave y'all didn't just win.
Yeah, I mean,
it wasn't just like a bass tracker, no.
Yeah.
It was like a freaking $60,000-$70,000 boat.
Well, I mean, that's
What a
so you
win.
look at the value of that win is almost like, I mean, it could be double because of your relationship that you opened up with Johnny and Bass Pro and White River Marine.
That win is freaking. I'm just sitting here
it's
thinking
life
about
changing.
the amount that they want. So financially, you would have to win like 6 elites to cover.
Yeah,
that win.
pretty much.
That's ridiculous. You have to
Two
win the
classics.
classic like twice.
And then, like I'm saying,
Yeah.
think about the value of the relationships he's made. From
That's a
that.
derby. They still have that derby?
I wish they did, man. They did it one time, and then they haven't done it again. I don't know if they're just never going to do it again or not. But
I don't know how they ever made the money back.
Freaking Logan and Tucker hit them when they needed to.
Yeah, no doubt. Good job.
Wow, that is a tournament.
Yeah.
Tournaments.
Does Logan Parks Fishing want to sponsor the Juice
Juice.
podcast next year so we can go to the Opens? You know.
Wow,
that's
that is
awesome.
I mean, seriously, when you compare that win to basically any other win that exists in the sport of fishing, I don't know one that comes close. I'm trying to
Classic
think.
is 300.
I know winning the Classic is awfully life changing.
Yeah.
But financially, I don't think so. Like, not that. I mean, if I won the Classic, that would be life changing money.
Hold on.
I'm talking about how much they freaking won. I mean, I'm telling you, I don't know. I mean, do you know? Was it Scott Suggs that won $1 million in a?
I think so.
Yeah.
He won the $1 Million Cup.
Yep. Yeah.
They do that once or twice. I think they had it once or twice.
I think they did it once. Then didn't they do a $500,000 one?
Oh yeah. Yep.
Yeah. I don't know if they did two.
So yeah, I guess that one. I guess Scott Suggs probably
solo
$1 million solo. Yeah.
Taxman hit you pretty good on that one.
Yeah, we found out about Uncle Sam pretty quickly.
Yeah.
I went from filing like as a dependent all these years to like, holy crap, what am I supposed to do?
I'm supposed to cut the check for how much?
Dude, that's
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah.
How awesome is
They
that,
literally
man?
handed us a check, dude, when we were like, after we like took the polygraphs and stuff, and that was the first polygraph I'd ever taken.
Oh,
You both took
God.
one or just you?
Yeah, we both took one.
Oh,
they
my God.
had the setup, dude. It was like this like backstage, like I think it was a trailer, but it kind of felt like it was like like one of them storage containers that they have like on the back of 18 wheelers.
Yeah,
There was like a little door and there was no windows, and we walked in, and the room was like completely white. It's
Yep.
so weird. There was like a table and all these wires, and they were like, "Have a seat." And I'm like, "Oh my gosh!" They're like, "Oh, you're gonna be." They were cool, you know. You're gonna be fine, man. Like, I'm just gonna ask you a few questions, but I was so nervous. I just knew I'd fail just from being nervous.
Yeah.
But
that's how Belts is. It's in the trailer.
Yeah, so me and
Yeah.
Shane have had the privilege to get polygraphed multiple times, and Shane has taken every
He
single
never
one.
gets drawn. I always get drawn. Like, what in the world?
It's awesome. It's awesome.
so they pick one or the other.
Yeah, usually do a coin flip,
That's
pick a
nice.
number, something like that. So,
Yeah.
but man, how awesome is that? Did you? Golly, how long did that take to set in? I probably would have cried for 3 days. Honestly,
Dude, it was insane. I mean, like just the way that the tournament went down for us was insane. Like so they did this tournament, right? And it was like a big deal all year, and they had 9 or 10 qualifiers for it. And we were so busy focused on college that we didn't, ever sign up for any of them. And I didn't have a White River Marine, boat. I was in Phoenix at the time, so I didn't have the opportunity to even fish it anyways. And then it was like that fall rolled around, and Tucker's dad texted us and was like, "Hey guys, like, what do y'all have going on? Like October 25th and 26th or something like that." And we're like, "I don't know why." And he's like, "Well, they just sent me an email about this last chance qualifier on Bull Shoals, that they're trying to get people to sign up for. And I think it was like, they're taking 250, and so that if more than 250 signed up, they would just randomly draw until they got to 250. And so we signed up for that, and like luckily we got picked to get into it. And it was the Tuesday, Wednesday before the $1 million tournament.
wow.
So what boat did you fish
So
that
we
one out
drove.
of?
So Tucker had a nitro. So
Okay.
that's how it all worked.
So
Like
Tucker's
that's
dad-
how his dad got the email. His dad got the email about the tournament and signed us up for it. So we really owe him.
It wasn't even on.
To be
So it really
honest.
wasn't even on your radar until he said something.
Yeah.
Wow.
And he's like, "You guys need to fish this." So like we literally fished a tournament on Lake Wiley that weekend before, which was like Saturday maybe.
Yeah.
And drove from Lake Wiley to Bull Shoals, Arkansas, fished that tournament like on Wednesday, and we came in 13th. And it was cool because that's actually where I met Milliken.
Nice.
He almost won that thing. I think they got like big fish, and mean, dude, we were just fired up because that tournament paid so good. I mean, it was a big entry fee for us at the time. It was like $800, I think. But
That's
I mean,
at
we
Bull
made
Shoals?
Yeah, that was
yeah,
on the
that was at Bull
qualifiers.
Shoals.
Yeah, so I'm about to say the qualifier must have paid pretty decent because my buddies qualified for that tournament at the
Easton and
Potomac.
Blake,
No,
they fished it. Didn't they fish one of those qualifiers?
my buddy Nolan's. So my buddy Nolan qualified at the Potomac River, and I think he got second or something in the qualifier and made like I think they made like $25,000 a piece.
Dang,
Dude, yeah,
Like,
it
it
paid like
paid pretty good.
50,000 or something to first because
Yeah.
we were 13th.
Oh, they won.
And we made like $2,000, and we
Yeah.
were fired up. Like, oh, we got like $1,000 a piece. Heck
Yeah.
yeah! And then we drove over to Table Rock from there. And I'd fished Bull Shoals before, but never in the fall. I'd only been there once for a college tournament, like April. So that's the only experience out, kind of Midwest out that way. And so we drove over that night. Or I guess it was maybe Thursday night. It was Wednesday night. We drove over Wednesday night to Missouri, and we practiced Thursday till like off limits, I guess, which was like 1 p.m. And then the tournament started Friday. So
Wow.
everyone else had been there for like 7 days, and
Oh,
we
my
just
God.
pulled up, and we just kind of like tried to do the same thing we did at Bull Shoals, just try to find bait, off of the ends of points and in ditches and stuff, and just literally just like drove around going like 20 miles an hour shooting with the 2D, trying to find bait balls, and just marked a few places to start. And like, luckily that tournament was, it was like the third day the weight zeroed. So it had 350 boats.
God.
And then after day one, they cut to the top 250 or to the top 200, something like that. And your weights carried over from day one to day two. And then your 2-day total determined who was in the top 50. And then the third day they cut, they re-zeroed your weight. So all 50 teams had, a equal chance, I guess, at winning. So we knew that going in and kind of strategized like, well, we'll just try and, catch what we can, what we think might be in the top 50 and just try and go practicing and find more areas. And the first day we caught 13 pounds and we were in like 10th or 12th. So we were like, well, dang, dude, like that was kind of easy. I don't know if we catch much more than that if we fish hard all day, but like we at least catch 12 pounds tomorrow, we'll be golden. So we went out and caught 13 again and just practiced the rest of the day. And we were in 8th going into the final day, and then they zeroed our weights, and we just kind of lucked into it. All the places that we'd fished the first 2 days, they weren't really very good. We caught like a 2-pounder here and a 2-pounder there, and then we rode by this one place the final day, and it kind of set up similar to what we'd been fishing, but we hadn't fished it, and there was a bunch of gulls diving and loons diving, and we pulled up and just like railed them, caught 15 pounds in like 30 minutes. And at that point, we knew we had a chance to win, and we tried to cull the rest of the day and didn't really make anything happen. Pulled back up to that spot at the end of the day, and we caught 2 more big spotted bass that gave us the winning total. But running in, we were just kind of both like, holy cow, like what's gonna happen? It was insane. Tucker looked over at Tucker, he was crying, running back in, driving the boat. I'm like, dang, you're gonna make me cry, bro.
Yeah, that's really special. Did y'all have scope at that time or no?
Yeah, we did.
Okay, so that so we had the Toyota Series Championship over there.
We were the original jighead minnows, all right?
So, yeah, that's what I was about to ask you, because we had the Toyota Series Championship over there this past fall, like in November, and I think that's about when y'all were there. And my buddy Chad won it, but the weights were pretty freaking good, and, it was a straight scoping tournament. That's the reason I asked. Like, scoping extremely deep, but the fish were near the surface on bait, stuff like that, so.
Well, man, listening to all the circumstances that fell into place for you to be there at that time and win that tournament, I mean, if that wasn't meant to be, I don't know what is.
Yeah, that's nuts.
I mean, like everything just lined up.
Dude, it was crazy. We literally were like on the way back to weigh-in too that weekend before at Lake Wiley, and Tucker flung an ear on his prop. So my buddy picked me up from his boat, and I went and weighed our fish. and drove to a different ramp and picked Tucker up. And then along the way to Bull Shoals, we stopped by Matt Robertson's trailer and got a spare prop from him. So it's just crazy, man.
Wow.
What's Matt Robertson's trailer like?
I don't know. He left it out by the street, so we didn't get to see it.
Oh, I got you.
He just stuck it under his mailbox. So.
Wow. How cool is that? That's awesome, man.
Yeah.
Looking forward, what's the goals, man? What's the goals from the elites? Obviously making the classic and all that, but what's your goals looking forward?
Man, just to stay around and do as well as I can and just make a difference too in the industry and in people's lives. And obviously, the goal is to win a classic, win Angler of the Year. That's everybody's goal probably. So
Sure.
that would be truly a dream come true. But just to fish a classic, man, that would be huge. Just to make the classic my first year would be an awesome, experience. But, winning tournaments and all that stuff's, great. But man, to really make a difference in people's lives and to be able to do something that makes the sport better is really honestly what fires me up more than anything. And I know we talked a little bit before this about talking about the tournament that I put on this past year, but man, putting that tournament on, that was almost as awesome a time as holding that trophy and that big check at the U.S. Open. Like literally, like getting to see how those anglers, how excited they were and stuff. That was really, really cool.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's
So,
awesome.
so for those who don't know, like, what's your tournament that you put on this year?
It's been going
So
for a few
we
years,
put
right?
we put on this tournament last November. It was called the High School College Chaos Tournament, and we worked with my title sponsor, Fishing Chaos, to run the tournament through their app, and we just tried to put on like this crazy, super unique, cool format tournament. It was super fast paced, and we did something that no one I really don't think has ever done before. And we paired high school anglers up with college anglers. And one of the reasons why I wanted to do that was because, growing up fishing in high school, we didn't really have like our dads that were, super into tournament fishing. So if we didn't meet, some of the guys on the Auburn University team and they didn't take us fishing, we wouldn't have really, learned stuff that well or as quickly. And so to be able to, and not everybody can make those connections, like someone that's not from Auburn, how are they ever going to get to meet and get to go fishing with an Auburn University, guy? So I created this tournament where it's equal number of high school and college anglers, and the high school anglers get paired with the college anglers and they fish as a 2-person team. So it really creates a cool and unique way for a college angler to really make a lasting impact on these kids' lives and mentor them and, hopefully help them grow and become better anglers. And it was one day. We had it in Auburn, Alabama. We had it on Lake Martin, and we had 84 teams the first year, and we ended up giving away over $175,000 in prizes, scholarships, and payout.
Wow.
First place got a $15,000 check, so it was really, really cool to put that on. And I'm looking forward to making this year even bigger and better. I got some awesome things in the work with Bass Pro Shops and some of the sponsors. Abby Garcia, they stepped up and title sponsored it last year, and they're already committed to do it again this year. So really, really couldn't do it without those guys. But just a super cool tournament. And the actual tournament was catch, weigh, photo, release. So we had all 84 tournament calibrated scales that we gave all of the teams. And then through the Fishing Chaos app, they catch the fish, weigh it, take a picture of it on the scale and submit it. And we were actually judging the fish as they came in, make sure the photos were all good and you could read it and you could see the whole fish. And they caught over 1,600 fish in 8 hours.
Wow.
So it was absolutely insane. Yeah.
Jesus.
It was insane. Just trying to judge those things fast enough was a task because they were flying in left and right. And I really got, a lot of inspiration from the U.S. Open, to put something like this on.
Right.
Just because of the experience that we had. And, like, obviously they don't have the tournament anymore. So I'm like, how can I kind of create something similar to that unique experience and then have it for the specific groups that really made a lasting impact on me, which was high school and college fishing. And throughout the tournament, there's actually cuts. Instead of like a 3-day format, there was actually cuts throughout the day.
Oh, wow.
So
that is unique.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, very unique.
But, it's pretty hard to explain. So if anybody's watching, I have a YouTube video on it. It's about 14 minutes long. Bass Pro actually came and filmed a documentary on it, and it really details it really well, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah,
so I'm really looking forward to putting that on again.
Yeah, man, that's awesome. Yeah, so Fishing Chaos, Brandon Belt Fishing, they use them for their tournament stuff, and so that's really cool. We've got to kind of see the Fishing Chaos, and that's kind of how we were
in their site. And
that's kind of how we were introduced to it. Really cool. I know Brandon and those guys over there are wanting to do even more with Fishing Chaos. You just alluded to all the crazy stuff y'all are doing. I think they want to do more of it too, because Fishing Chaos offers so much.
A unique platform for sure.
Very unique. So that's really cool.
Speaking on your YouTube, so you I've seen some of your stuff. So you travel with John Garrett, Cody Huff, right? And then who's the other one you travel with?
Yeah, I travel with John, Cody, and then Robert G.
Robert G, yeah.
Gotcha.
So we're rooming together. Me and John roomed together last year, actually, in the Opens.
Yeah.
And qualified together. And then we added Rob because he was one of our buddies that we fished against in college. And then John, I guess, was on the same team as Cody in college too. So we kind of all fished against each other in college, but none of us were like really close at the time. But it's cool to be surrounded by those guys. They definitely we all make each other better each and every day.
That's good.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you and your Opens roommate both made it, because that'd be awkward.
Yeah, yeah, for sure.
It happens.
Yeah. Well,
but anyways, you got anything else for the man?
Man, no, I think that was a good episode. I'm still like trying to wrap my brain around what it must feel like to
win something like that.
It's going to take us probably like 10 years.
No, we'll never be able to win something like that because it doesn't even exist anymore. No. Logan made him he freaking bankrupted him.
Yeah.
I don't know about Johnny, but
definitely not him.
No.
Y'all just have to tell him. Just start sending him emails. Say the Juice Podcast needs needs another U.S. Open.
Yeah, we want it on Sam Rayburn.
We'll tell Lauren. We'll tell Lauren we need her to spend her marketing dollars on that again.
Shoot, y'all tell Brandon Belt. He's freaking money man over here making it happen.
Yeah.
Don't be surprised if you don't see something crazy like that happen one day, because he will do it.
He will.
Yeah,
he will do it.
We came out there and fished the first tournament that he put on with Fishing Chaos, and that was really cool, man. He's a really cool dude. I really have a lot of respect for guys like that are trying to better the sport and better the industry, and there's only one way to, I feel like, increase payouts, and that's by like showing that it is possible. You know what I mean? Like a lot of these tournaments have just been same old for the past 40 years. And until someone comes in and, actually shows that you can really make these a lot better, they're not going to change.
Yeah.
I mean, we still stand in line and sign up for them as soon as the registration opens. So until that stops, there's no reason for them to change. So
it's
I really have a lot of respect for a guy like Brandon coming in and doing that.
Yeah, it's crazy. After his, first year, there were some other, team organizations that made some quick changes.
Yeah, all the ones around us have made changes rapidly.
Very fast. So,
and that's kind of what I'm trying to do, also with the high school and college tournament. I mean, we paid out $15,000 to first place, and I don't know another high school or college tournament that does that these days.
Mm-mm.
I mean, it seems like those tournaments really are the money makers for a lot of these tournaments, where you can win a few tournaments and you don't make any money. It stinks. So
no, we're not very bright as fishermen. As tournament anglers, we're kind of just addicted to this game, and we don't really care what the terms are as long as we get to play.
Yeah, I mean, unfortunately.
I mean,
and I'm all for the love of fishing. You know, that's all why we started fishing. But
Yeah.
at the end of the day, you know, we need to also look at it from a realistic standpoint of, you know, does this make sense? Is this a smart financial decision? And if it's not, how can we help make fishing a smart financial decision? You know, how can we help these kids? Because a lot of me growing up, I'm kind of going off on a tangent here. I know y'all trying to wrap things up,
good.
but me growing up, I was told, you know, like high school fishing and college fishing is the perfect platform for, you know, taking it to the next level. But then you graduate and it's like, good luck.
Yeah.
Like, what do I do now?
Yeah.
And obviously we were really fortunate to have won the U.S. Open, but had we not won that and had I not qualified the first year, do I fish the Opens the second year? I don't know. And there's really not a lot of like information out there on what to do when you graduate, how to get sponsors and how to, you know, be smart financially and make it a smart business decision to actually go fish the Opens and how you can make it work. And I feel like that's really what I'm trying to do with the nonprofit that I started, to help these anglers, you know, grow, mentally.
I'd love to see something like that. I mean, I agree 100%, you know, at least, you know, show these guys. Cause there's some people and there's stories out there of guys that have tried and, you know, didn't quite make it. And and it's, you can get yourself in a bind financially.
Oh,
no doubt.
They never fish again.
Yeah.
They don't come back home and fish team tournaments. They're done.
But
that happens.
Yeah, if we can, if guys like yourself and other guys, you know, could share knowledge and learn experiences that they've been through to kind of guide some of these younger guys coming in, like, hey, you know, this is what you need to be doing. This is how you need to raise sponsor dollars, and this is where you need to be financially to take the next step responsibly.
Yep.
It's all good stuff, man.
Very good.
I like that.
Well, we appreciate your time, brother.
We're gonna have you on again.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely.
You bet, man. We'll do it again sometime.
Just keep doing your thing on the elites, man. I'm
gonna
putting you
try.
on my fantasy team, so don't screw me over.
Well, you may want to wait till we get out of Florida to do that.
You'll be all right. Go get him, man.
Hey, man, we appreciate you coming on.
Yes, sir. I'll see y'all later.
How about take care?
I was jacking with Logan a little bit, wasn't I?
You were.
I like Logan.
Literally, like I said, he was like, hey, man, it's like, can we do no four faces on our talk? First words out of Wyatt's mouth.
Heard you wouldn't have qualified without it. Jeez. You got to mess with these guys, man. They're cool. They get it. So, what you doing?
Texting my family.
So before we wrap this up, we're going to speak upon the situation. Did you want to speak on the situation?
Which one? There's so many situations in fishing right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of situations. So
the James Watson situation?
So the James Watson situation.
Yes, I love that.
Everybody knows what's kind of going on.
Hold on. Let me stop right there. I don't love the fact that he got disqualified.
Well, suspended.
I love the movement that's happening. The hashtag
Fish Boat Dogs.
Yeah.
So
FBD. I've been saying that how long on this podcast, and I'm not trying to, whatever. Y'all know where I stand with.
Yeah, so basically he's suspended until December of next year. He'll probably never fish MLF again.
And they still haven't even announced exactly what happened. I read something about sportsman's conduct rules, rule number 7.
I mean, you can probably put it together, some of the stuff he said and stuff like that.
He's being silenced. He's being silenced because he's speaking out on some things that apparently are true. And I know, so we have reached out to him. He's followed back up. Obviously, he's real good buddies with Luke Duncan.
Yeah.
Budget Live, so he'll be on there. I think they got it scheduled for next Monday. So,
but he did agree to come on our podcast.
He did say he will come on the podcast.
Yeah, it's not going to be. We didn't get the exclusive, but maybe we can talk a little bit.
It's fine. You don't need exclusive. I mean, he's got his show, we got our show. We do different things.
Yeah.
But I'm very, very curious to hear what all went down. But basically, sounds like he's being silenced, and that's not cool. We don't do that in America.
Yeah, that's the drama going on over there. And then Bassmaster had a little drama as well in the open scene.
Yeah. Normally these are kind of hush-hush. Nobody even knows it happened. It comes and goes. But the angler that got disqualified chose to, in my opinion, make a way bigger deal out of it than he needed to. He posted on Facebook about it.
Yeah, Brian knew.
And he also called out his accuser I don't think that was a cool move.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's his right on it. I mean,
again, you're not silenced. Not trying to silence
yeah. I
anybody,
mean, it's his right. If he wanted to post about it, he had every right to, and he did. And I think it. He mentioned Andrew Upshaw in that post, and because Upshaw was the one who, filed the, what is it called, the
official protest.
Official protest, and Andrew got a lot of backlash from that, and man, I really do hate that for him because I really don't think he did anything wrong, So that's just my opinion on it.
No, I agree. I don't think he did anything wrong. I think it was a little like I have a ton of respect for Brian New as an angler. I think he's an
absolute
hammer. Love watching him on the elites. A fan of the guy, and he's frustrated and angry. And I think he made a poor choice on. I think he should have just taken his slap on the hand and gone about his business. And
it turned. I mean, everybody that watches keeps up with fishing and YouTube. You've seen Andrew's video. I mean, it's out there, so it ain't like we're talking about nothing that's hidden.
Yeah, no, it's all out there. But then the James Watts thing just kind of blew that one out of the way. Everybody kind of quit talking about it. But yeah, I a lot of drama. What's our deal, man? What's our sports deal?
People like drama.
I don't know. Our sport seems to be pretty we love it apparently because it's every week there's something new.
Well, hey, keep going. It gives us podcasts something to talk about.
It gives us content. I mean, we're not necessarily trying to be like tabloid. We're not like
hey,
TMZ
we're not starting anything.
No, you're right.
I mean, it's not our fault that
you're right.
People are blowing out beds. What do you want me to do?
Yeah. No, I mean it was.
We didn't start it.
No, we didn't do anything wrong.
Yeah,
we didn't do anything wrong.
But we cover the industry, so we're gonna talk about it.
That. We do kind of do that. No, I'm excited to have James on it. We had a brief conversation about getting Brian and Andrew on together.
That's not gonna happen.
Why not?
But why would we don't? That's a whole.
You want to go down this path?
No.
You want to go down this path?
First of all, that's not gonna happen because they're not gonna want to do that. The way I looked at the situation was like, and Andrew explained it really well in his channel. Obviously, he took it very personal for what some of these people were commenting and saying.
And keyboard warriors came out and said some dumb stuff.
And I probably would have taken it personal too. He was a little fired up in that video he made, but honestly, he made really good points. Like, hey, dude, like he protested this dude because he did something wrong.
Well, let me be clear on protest too and rules. There is a rule in the rules that says if you know of or are aware of a rules violation and you do not report it, you are also in violation.
Yeah, if you witness a crime.
Yeah.
And you don't report it.
If you know of a rules infraction,
you're going to jail.
You're going to bass jail.
Yeah, it really is bass jail.
It is. It's in there. It's how we're supposed to hold each other.
Start locking people up.
They are. I think the handcuffs. Hank's going to start throwing people, in jail. Like they're going to have a spot in the trailer. Like you can't fish today. You got to go sit in jail.
I know it sucks, man, because there's no telling. I mean, you try to stay out of it. You accidentally break a rule or something. I'm not saying that was an accident, but you do something not.
I don't think he knew it was.
You don't know it's whatever. And I'm not saying I'm saying that's why I hate to speak on it too terribly much because if something happened like that to me, I'd be like, which I think I would have just taken it on the chin and went about it. Hey, I was wrong. It is what it is. Let's roll. So it is what it is, guys. But I don't know who we're gonna have on next. We got a lot of people on.
We got some cool people in the queue. We got Cody Huff.
Yep.
We got KVD.
Yep.
Talked to him yesterday.
Hackney.
I mean, we kind of have him queue. We haven't confirmed him.
We're going to have Kyle Hall on, too. And I've got an interesting take on that.
Yeah. Wyatt's got a good idea for an episode, $2,000 guides.
Yeah, I want to make sure, see what he's charging on.
Yeah. But everybody knows the big deal over at Ivy and all the other lakes over there.
They are freaking catching
They're catching giants.
So
and Josh Jones and some of these guys, the best guys out there are charging a premium.
Making it cash. and they're booked because Kyle said he couldn't. Kyle told me he's so freaking booked he can't even come on the show.
I forgot to do this.
What are you doing?
Boom.
Boom. You didn't do that the whole episode?
No.
Nobody's even going to see that.
At the end.
Whoever watched this to the end, if you listened to the very end and
if you made it, if you're a
I was going
real
to give something
Juice
away,
fan,
but we ain't got nothing to give away. So.
you can't have my truck.
But anyways, guys, we got some good stuff coming up. We're going to have some videos eventually rolling out, 39 pounds. We got tournaments to fish. We got some shorts coming up from the Classic, new people coming on. Eventually, we'll monetize the channel, I guess. And
We got our first sponsor. It's happening.
It's happening, guys. Until next time.